know. I'm not sure how that matches up to what Mohit and
Yeah, it doesn't. It doesn't. I mean, it doesn't add up at all. I mean, Shami has been a star, and you've rightly put it. I mean, the wicket there at Ahmedabad does suit his style, but clearly they think Siraj is maybe less injury prone than Shami and may play the whole season.
yeah, of course, 3 years. Yeah.
So yeah, so could be that. You know, another thing that's really struck me, Starc was the most expensive buy in the last auctions. Now this time he's gone in for less than a lot of the Indian pacers, right? I mean, Shami is lower than him. He's gone for less than Siraj.
We kind of predicted the same just
yeah.
before his bidding started. We said that he would go for around 13 to 14. Again,
He's gone for
I'm not too
11.75,
surprised
yeah,
though,
yeah.
and we've had this conversation. I think when Jamie and Vineet we were having this conversation, not too surprised with what Starc actually went for because he can be a bit deceptive. He's one of those players, like I keep saying, he's not, like this is just in good humor. We speak about trophy wives. I think a lot of these foreign pacers are like that. You want to buy one to show it off, but will they really sort of translate to getting you what you really paid them for? I don't know. But a lot of interesting buys in that department still yet to come. You know, you have a Trent Bolt
Trent
whom
Bolt,
I'm very
correct.
keen to see where he goes. I think many more if I just see the list. But yeah, thoughts on that, Jamie Starc and his price tag.
0.75, I believe.
That's
to
right, 11.75.
DC.
Yeah.
Now again, DC, we discussed this earlier. DC have, like you just mentioned, Rupa, they've gone for that overseas fast bowler, Nokia, Rabada, a couple more back in the day. Names aren't coming to me in my old age, but it's. I think he'll be a good fit. Again, it depends who they're going to bolster their bowling attack with. But you know, half the matches at the Kotla, where I think more than Eden Gardens, his style of bowling might actually work. I would bowl him two up front, and then I would not even think about giving him a third. I would wait for the back end because at the Kotla, a lot of wickets do follow. It's a small ground, runs can be scored, but a lot of fast bowlers, if they're accurate, can get wickets in the back end of innings. So I think Mitchell Starc, yes, I'm surprised. I think 11.75 is a bit too high for him, but he's a World Cup winner. He's a WTC winner. He's an IPL winner. So a lot of things going in favor. Not right now in Perth. He's probably hating Test cricket right now after bowling a lot of overs. But 4 or 5 months from now, if he's fit, if he's energized, I think he could have a 20 to 25 wicket season for DC.
I think I'm very interested in seeing Josh Hazelwood as well. Josh Hazelwood, Nandre Berger. I'm curious to see where they would go. Even someone like Norke. I mean, those are really solid buys for you. We've got another reporter joining us in Purnima from Chennai. I love it. I love listening to Chennai fans talk because a lot of what they say makes so much sense.
And
Purnima,
Chennai
what's
hasn't spent yet.
Chennai hasn't spent yet. But again, we were just talking about how they could go for Ashwin, and Ashwin's coming up in the lot next, I believe. I think he is there. Yeah, he's there in the lot coming up. Yep, all-rounder number one there. So, Purnima, are they excited and looking forward to a homecoming of sort?
Well, a bunch of cricket fans as young as, how old are you?
9.
9 years. They're all patiently waiting here to see if CSK makes its first bid anytime soon. I mean, you were expecting Rahul to be bought by CSK.
So what happened was like suddenly CSK entered the bid for Rahul at 12.25. I suddenly thought, okay, this is the hire that have been identified by Dhoni, and CSK is like, he's the keeper, he's probably a future captain. Maybe they suddenly entered at 12.25. They were not bidding at the start, so maybe that thought that they're going to go for it. But they didn't go for it further than that. And also they had a couple of surprising bids. They suddenly entered the auction for Livingston at around 8 crores, and then they didn't go beyond 8.75. Then they again bid for Siraj, and then again they didn't go beyond 8 crores. So Chahal would have been a great addition to CSK. They went as far as 5.5 or 5.75 for Chahal, and then left it at that. So we're still waiting who they're going to add to the squad. But there are a lot of marquee players yet to be auction. So
one is Ashwin that's going to come up. Are you hoping that CSK buys Ashwin this time?
I hope so, because there's like no bowlers like retained, a very weak spin, like there's no spinners. Ravindra Jadeja is all rounder. We are expecting more bowlers. Patirana is like seamer. So we are trying to find more like as CSK fan, we're gonna try more like spinners, seamers. We're gonna try new bowlers and marquee players now this time. So we need like power attack. Now we also need batsmen. We have very less batsmen, and we have middle order. We also need people for middle order and top order. We have no like starting players like strike and non-strike. Then the bowlers Matisha Tikshana was not retained. Then only Patirana was there for seamers. We hope that there's more players. When I was seeing the auction, I thought Siraj was the one who's going to come and start like the bowling for us. But there's a disappointment for CSK fans.
CSK, however, on Twitter says stay calm, and that's the word coming in from the CSK official handle. So here they are waiting patiently. Ashwin, there's a lot of excitement here, hoping that Ashwin joins, but you never know. Expect the unexpected has been Dhoni's formula, so we'll have to wait and see what CSK does.
Loving it, Purnima. I love the fans that you talk to. Here's another one. Trust the process, and the process is just setting in. Who knows? We'll probably see them making some moves. But I wanted to talk about the set that's coming up.
Yeah.
It's the all-rounder set, and you've got some very interesting names there. Harry Brook. I'm very, very curious to see where he'll end up. I love watching Harry Brook.
Yeah, yeah.
He's great player of
Absolutely,
spin as well.
absolutely.
Devon Conway could see they have an RTM, right? Chennai has one RTM. Could see an RTM for him somewhere there. Jake Fraser McGurk, I love to see JFM as well. Aiden Markram, Devdutt Padikkal, Rahul Tripathi, David Warner. That's the batting. Those are the batters coming up, and then of course you'll have the all-rounders.
All-rounders, yeah. There's Toyness in the
There's
all-rounders
Toyness in the all-rounder
There's
list.
Marsh,
Glenn Maxwell,
of course.
Harshal Patel, again a very, very good pick there.
Some
And
really big names coming up.
Venkatesh Iyer. I'm betting that Venkatesh Iyer is going to get a decent interest going there.
Yeah.
Jamie, what do you think?
Absolutely, he's a big match player. You know, we've seen him blow hot and cold for KKR in like league matches. But look at his record in playoffs, and it all boils down to playoffs, right?
Yeah.
I just hope for his sake he goes to one of the franchises which have at least one track which is a belter. Because I think if he goes to like a team like Lucknow or even Delhi where it's slow and low, it doesn't bring the best out of him. But you give him, a track where the ball comes on. I remember he got that brilliant 100 in a lost cause against Mumbai at the Wankhede. The guy was swinging, whichever bowler came on, Berendorf, Arjun Tendulkar, Piyush Chawla, he was just swinging. So you want to see a player like him, who I think probably should have played more for India. You want him at his best, and I think from what I've seen of him over the last 3-4 years, give him flatter tracks, and his hand-eye coordination, his bat speed is brilliant. So very, very keen to see where he goes, because he's a very, very good. I know he's in the all-rounder category, but he doesn't bowl much. I mean, maybe he bowls now because, frankly, KKR haven't required him to bowl. But certain franchises maybe get an over or two out of him, because he is a partnership breaker after all.
Amaya, your thoughts on the batting list as well?
David Warner is going to be a very, very interesting one. I mean, we'll have to
I
see
don't know.
where.
I always think, why? I honestly, okay, so here's my thought. And this was one of my things that are going in, even when I was doing this mock auction bit. You want to also look at the people who gel in with your team. I don't know. I mean, I want a guy who's not so temperamental. I don't want someone who's going to upset the team ethos over there. And
I'm very curious. Who picked David Warner? In the mock auction?
In the mock auction, Bengaluru. To open with Virat Kohli. I'm like, wow, let's see how that goes.
Trust RCB to go for
Yeah. We can expect them to do that.
Strike rate has been dipping over the last few years, and like you mentioned, is perhaps a bit temperamental. Look again. He's achieved so much, but like I said, he's 38. Strike rate is a problem. I was seeing his recent form. He's only played that max 10 in the Cayman Islands.
Yes.
Probably small ground. Does a team want to pay upwards of 4 crores for David Warner? He's not a Faf du Plessis who still reels off 80 or 40 every few matches. I'm talking about the guys who are 38 plus. Fantastic. I think the leading overseas player in IPL history. Maybe him and Gale are up there. But like I said, I just feel he's a spent force. So he'll go somewhere. But
he'll go somewhere.
I would pay more than 3.54 crore for David Warner right now.
But here's the thing. If he goes somewhere, he has to be in the 11, right?
Yeah.
And he has to open.
Absolutely.
He has to open.
And with RCB, you never know. He may just captain them. He has a captaincy record. He's captain
my God,
DC,
Virat
he's captain
playing under
SRH.
David Warner.
So you never know. With RCB,
I am
you never know.
hiding my face.
You could just have RCB's next captain in David Warner.
Oh God, that'll be interesting. I mean, it'll make for good conversations and
Meme
good.
material.
But yeah, I want to see where he lands up because he has to be in the 11 if you're getting David Warner. Lucknow, Lucknow. Whom did they go for? Lucknow went for David Miller. Lucknow went for Rishabh Pant. They need an opener too, right? They need an opener too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so a lot of interesting options there. Then you've got someone like Jake Fraser McGurk as well, Devon Conway. I'm really curious about the all rounders list as well. I love the names there. Hopefully there'll be some movement there because especially for Mumbai and Bengaluru because they
Yeah.
might want a few of these options here. Jamie, your thoughts on the all rounder list? Quite a few interesting names there. Stoinis, Harshal Patel, Mitchell Marsh. As well.
Again, Mitchell.
RCB
Again,
has
all
the
these
most-
guys on their day, not Harshal Patel. I'm talking about Maxwell, Marsh, and Stoinis. On their day, they can be devastating. But I think their days are so few and far between, right? I mean, Maxwell. We remember that 200 he got off one leg. Uske baad, the guy is not. I mean, he looks so out of form. I watched the recent Australia series. He looked out of form. Mitchell Marsh, he's injury prone. I mean, he plays two blinders and then he goes absent for the next 1 month. And again, Stoinis, he got a fantastic 100 for LSG. But these kind of players, do you really want a player firing once in 14 matches? I don't get the fuss over these players. Maybe I'm just too cynical, but
No, so before Amaya comes in, I just want to very quickly say this. So there was this conversation that I had with Ashwin after that mock auction, and I said Bengaluru must RTM Glenn Maxwell, if not Will Jacks, and he was like, "Why?" And I said he's a player who can win you games, and he likes playing in Bengaluru. He loves the environment. That's a big tick mark if he's getting along with the people there, and he didn't have a bad last season. He was pretty decent. He was a little more than consistent compared to all his previous seasons. Again, no comparison to 2014 because that was not in India. That was in Dubai. That was one of his best IPL seasons. But I would like a Maxwell any day. I mean, I don't know.
I agree. And I think they would use the RTM for a Maxwell. I mean, they will need an impact player in the middle order. And I mean, if they don't, I don't know what their auction strategy is. So I mean, ideally, yeah, they would use a RTM and get Maxwell on board. Interestingly, Mumbai right now, Bangalore has the most money left in the purse. So they could spend big on the batters and your all-rounders. They're, I think, at 74, which is the purse left for RCB. So, I mean, they could go all out right now on the batters and all-rounders.
I want to get in Toss there, who's, I think, freshened himself up a bit because he's preparing himself for hopefully some activity on the Mumbai table.
Yeah.
A change of t-shirt, Toss? Do I see a change of t-shirt? Not the right colors for Mumbai franchise, though.
No, it's still Chennai Super Kings. I don't know why I wore this T-shirt, yellow, and I saw Amaya also wearing the same T-shirt. So it's not. We are being neutral right now. I mean, it's just
Incidentally,
coincidence
both of us
that
are
I'm
from
wearing a
Mumbai.
Chennai Super King T-shirt. Yeah, we are. Amaya, remember this ground we used to play over here? I mean, Shivaji Park. I'm surprised that Mumbai Indians haven't started the way they used to. But again, I'm not surprised considering they have their set of players, they have their set of retained players. They may have a different strategy. I mean, I was just speaking to a few cricketers who said that Shardul Thakur could be one of the options. Here they're thinking, but then they already have Hardik Pandya, right? So why would they want to have a Shardul Thakur second all-rounder? Maybe they will go for Nitish Rana. Maybe they would like to have Akashdeep to partner Jasprit Bumrah, somebody who's interesting when it comes to T20 cricket as well, not just Test cricket alone. Then you have all youngsters, right? Like Jitesh Sharma is another option. They may not have gone for Ishan Kishan,
Jitesh is good,
but definitely Jitesh Sharma is an option. He's an exciting T20 player. We know what he did for Punjab with the bat as well as behind the wickets. Then there is Rahul Tripathi. Then I'm waiting for